freedom, viva!
Viva!
Press freedom, power!
Power!
Press freedom, power!
Power!
Press freedom, power!
Power!
Journalists, power!
Power!
Content creators, power!
Power!
Activists, power!
Power!
Activists, power!
Power!
Power, power!
Power!
We want power!
Power!
My name is Betty Luke, the Secretary General to the Isiolo Press Club and the Regional Chairperson for the Kenya Correspondents Association, Upper Eastern Region. And I want to read this statement on behalf of Isiolo journalists, content creators, and human rights defenders who are pushing for freedom in the civic space. We, the Isiolo Press Club, an umbrella body of journalists in Isiolo, and alongside human rights defenders and content creators, hereby wish to condemn the increasing attacks, intimidation, and harassment of journalists and digital content creators while undertaking their constitutional duty of informing the public. The recent incidents across the country point to an alarming pattern in which journalists and content creators covering political events, demonstrations, and other public gatherings have reportedly been assaulted, intimidated, and their equipment confiscated or destroyed. The attacks have allegedly been perpetuated by police and group of armed criminals operating in the presence of and without intervention from the law enforcement officers. We are very disturbed by yesterday's reported attacks on journalists from Nation Media Group and Radio Africa Group and the confiscation of their equipment while covering Olkalau by-elections in Nyandarua County. Several content creators have similarly reported losing their equipment while they were documenting matters that is of public interest. The incidents are not isolated. They represent a growing threat to media freedom and the civic space in the country. When journalists are beaten, threatened, and prevented from covering events or deprived of their equipment, it is not only the media that suffers. The Kenyan public is denied its constitutional right to receive timely and accurate information. The Constitution of Kenya, Article 33, guarantees the right to freedom of expression. Article 34 also guarantees the freedom of independence of the media, and it prohibits the interference with the work of journalists and media institutions. Article 35 also guarantees every citizen the right to access to information. Further, Article 244 requires the National Police Service to strive for the highest standards of professionalism and discipline and comply with constitutional standards of human rights and fundamental freedoms and foster and promote relationship with the broader society. Any unlawful assault, intimidation, or arbitrary confiscation of journalist equipment is against these constitutional obligations. We therefore demand swift, independent, and transparent investigations into every single reported attack against a journalist or a content creator across the country. Where police officers are implicated, they must be subjected to independent investigations and appropriate disciplinary and criminal action. Where civilians or organized groups are responsible, they too must be identified, arrested, and prosecuted according to the Kenyan law. Accountability must apply equally to all perpetrators, regardless of their status or affiliations. We further call for the immediate return of all equipment that has been unlawfully confiscated and for fair compensation where equipment has been damaged, destroyed, or cannot be recovered. We call upon the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the Media Council of Kenya, and the Editors Guild, the Kenya Correspondents Association, the Kenya Union of Journalists, and every other stakeholder to closely monitor these incidents and to ensure that justice is pursued for the affected journalists and the content creators. And finally, we remind the state and non-state actors that journalists are not participants in any political contest. They are independent observers serving the public interest. Their cameras, the microphones, the notebooks, the phones, the recording devices, are all tools of accountability and not weapons. The Isiolo Press Club stands in solidarity with every journalist and content creator who continues to serve the public despite the growing threats. We will continue to defend press freedom and demand a safe environment in which media practitioners are able to carry out their constitutional mandate without fear, intimidation, or violence. A free press is not an enemy of the state. It is a pillar of democracy. And protecting journalists is not optional. It is a constitutional obligation. Thank you.
Nikiripotia Kamachu TV, itaripota 001 wa Chombi Kamachu.